use that much. But down here are the words we use all the time. Hey, I'm not doing all the talking here. See these mics? They're for you. Anytime you see this icon, it's your turn to talk. It's okay if you talk at the same time. I'm listening. Let's start with something easy. Can you guess the 10 most common words in English? Step right up and say them into the mics. I'll give you a hint.
Be, that, in, a, v, to, of. Be.
Well done. Those cute little words, so harmless, right? Wrong. Part of the story of English is the story of violence, warfare, conquest, and lots of it. It all started when Germanic tribes sailed to what's now England and conquered the people who lived there. They brought their language, and those Germanic words make up about a third of the English we use today. Pretty soon, Viking tribes came with knives and clubs to ransack and slaughter the Germanic tribes. So we get those words and many more from the Vikings. Next came the French, but it wasn't all peace and baguettes. The French conquered England in 1066. They brought a powerful army with battalions of soldiers and more words to describe them. They also had ideas about money and law and words to describe those too. Each of these English words came from French. All this conquest gave English lots of words that mean almost the same thing, but feel different. For example, what do you call the animal pig when it's being served as food?
Pork.
Pork. Most livestock words in English are Germanic, but many of our words for meat come from French. There are tons of these Germanic French pairs, like snake. What's another word that means almost the same thing?
Serpent.
Sorry, serpent, which comes from French. Just like serpent, a third of English comes from French. And like snake, another third is German. But that means a lot of words come from somewhere else. Check out ask. It's Germanic. Question comes from French. But there's actually a third word that means almost the same thing.
It's what you call it when a cop is talking to somebody in a room like this.
Interrogation. Interrogate.
Yes, interrogate. It's from Latin. Latin and Greek are really great for creating new words. The Latin word for spider is arachno, and the Latin word for fear is phobia. Put them together, what do you get?
Arachnophobia.
Aha, yes. Arachnophobia means fear of spiders. Nearly a third of all English words come from Latin or Greek, and that's how a lot of new words get made too.
And people say Latin is a dead language?
So, 90% of English comes from French, Latin, Greek, or Germanic languages. But what about all those other words? Now it gets really interesting. Say one of these and I'll show you. Let's go with cappuccino. Way back in 16th century Italy, there were a bunch of monks from a place called Cappuccino. Cappuccino actually means little monk's hood. The drink got its name because coffee with milk is the same color as a cappuccino monk's brown robe. Tons of English words are borrowed from Italian. You probably know pizza and graffiti, but did you know all these come from Italian too?
Ditto.
We travel all over the world and need words to tell folks back home what we see.
Wow, look at that.
What do you call it?
So a lot of the time we just borrow words from other languages. Try to guess this one. Which English word meaning risky comes from Elzah? Actually, it's hazard. Hazard comes from the Arabic word for dice, al-zar. During the Crusades, soldiers saw Arabic speakers gambling with dice.
I'm at 5,000.
Gambling is risky, and that's how we get hazard. A lot more English words originally came from Arabic than you might think. All these are borrowed from other languages. But there are more stories about where words come from. Say another word.
Flutter.
I heard a few things. Let's go with flutter. All these words are onomatopoeia, words that come from sounds. And get this, sometimes we use certain letter combos to describe common noises. Splash, splash. Hear how the sound seems to describe liquids? We use club for the sounds of things colliding. English has so many onomatopoeia words. Go ahead, say some.
Bing. Quick.
Pop.
Flutter. Quick.
Bing.
Pop. Bing. Pop.
Okay, that's enough. All of these are onomatopoeias. But there's another way we create new words. Say one of these. Spork. Spork was created by combining the words spoon and fork. These combo words like snog and jorts are called portmanteau words. They're named after a special suitcase with two parts. Let's play a game. I'll show you two words, and you say the portmanteau word. Here's an easy one. Breakfast and lunch.
Brunch.
Yeah, brunch. How about hungry and angry?
Angry.
Yeah, hangry. Last one. Brother and romance.
Romance.
Romance it is. So these are portmanteaus. But let's look at one more way we make words. Say word. Okay, selfie. It's pretty likely selfie first became popular in Australia. Down under, they have a habit of shortening words and putting an E sound at the end.
Like prawns in the barbie, or other taste spaghetti.
That's how barbecue becomes barbie. Breakfast becomes brekkie. And self-portrait becomes selfie. You can call it an innovation. And one of language's greatest innovators was Shakespeare.
All the worlds of stage.
Thine own self be
Such
true.
stuff as dreams are made of.
He gets credit for inventing all these words. But let me tell you a secret. We know Shakespeare was the first to write them down. But it's possible other people actually invented them. My word. So do you know who the greatest language innovators of all time are?
Teenagers.
Yup, teenage girls.
I've been saying that forever.
We can tell by comparing the letters people wrote to each other as far back as the 15th century. Young women were the first to change hoth,
To has.
doth,
To do.
and ye.
To you.
All these words have changed over time. But you know what? Change is what keeps language alive. So, about a third of English words are Germanic. Another third come from French. And about 30% are from Latin or Greek. But a lot of the spice comes from onomatopoeia words. Splash. Borrowed words.
Burrito. Punch.
Hazard.
Portmanteau words.
Small. Short.
Sport.
And the words people invent every day.
Eat. Selfie.
Friendly.
So, what will you do with your words?
Not all those who wander are lost. All the world's a stage.
And all the men and women, merely players.
When they go low, we go high.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It was the best of times.
Immigrants.
It was the
We get
worst
the
of
job done.
times.
What happens to a dream deferred?
Precious.
Like a butterfly.
We have a problem.
Sting like a bee.
Be or not to be. A word to the wise.
Words.
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 Word.